podcast. Welcome to the Gringos and Buenos Aires podcast, the podcast that brings expat life to you. I'm your host, Paul Perry, together with Mandanga Dance, my cultural commentator.
What's up, dude?
Welcome back. Our first guest I met in a writers group, which I got kicked out of shortly after. He's an investigative journalist and an author. Originally from North Carolina, he's been living over the rainbow here in Buenos Aires since 2023. Let's welcome Hank Scott.
Woo!
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Welcome.
Happy to join the Gringos of Buenos Aires.
Yeah, Mexico. But, what does it mean to be a gringo?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what it means to be a gringo. I find a challenge once in a while. People, when I walk up at a barista, they ask me in English what my name is, which stuns me. But sometimes I'm able to trick them and I say, Enrique, and they smile.
Enrique. You ever been called the Shanky?
No, but I've been called Hank the Skank, which
Hank
is, I guess,
Skank.
somewhat similar. Yeah.
All right. So you've been here since 2023. What brought you? What brought you to Buenos Aires?
What brought me to Buenos Aires was, well, first of all, I just followed this city and its history and this country and its history for decades, and spent a month here many, many years ago. Fell in love with it.
What part of its history stands out most?
Well, some of the sad parts, the Dirty War.
The Dirty War.
Certainly stands out. But also what's really had an impact on me is the culture here, the people, but the culture. I'm a Francophile. I love Paris. This is the Paris of South America. It is different in one significant way from Paris. People are much nicer here. So makes a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. And what keeps you busy here in Buenos Aires as an expat?
Well, I'm a writer. I've been a writer everywhere, so I could write anywhere. But I like being here because I find great places to go sit and write. I like to get out of my apartment. Also, I do some virtual work. I edit books and stuff for other people. And I've been doing some work helping the Buenos Aires Herald, the English language publication here.
I used to read the Herald
really
every
admire.
day.
Yeah.
Before getting on the subway. That's how I got my first English teaching job.
Oh, okay.
In the Buenos Aires Herald.
Yeah, it's a great publication. It's about 140 some years old. It went out of business, then revived itself as a digital-only publication right now.
I'm curious, what's it like growing up in North Carolina?
Well, I wasn't in North Carolina. I was, actually. I left North Carolina at the age of 39. I grew up in Fayetteville, next to Fort Bragg, the largest Army base in the world, known as Vietnam.
Vietnam?
Yes, the Vietnam soldiers were based there. And I worked at the Raleigh Times newspaper, my first newspaper job, and then at the Charlotte Observer. And at the Charlotte Observer, I learned what any real journalist knows. My favorite editor, Stuart Dim, once told me, if your mother says she loves you, check it out. I'm a skeptic. I've been one since the age of 12, and that's why I love journalism, because what most people tell you ain't true. That's how I got
How do you feel
excited.
about soccer?
I don't know much about soccer. I want to learn more. I've been watching soccer more and more, and I'm captivated by it. When I go to the gym, all the TV monitors have soccer games going. And initially I kept thinking, so what's the big deal about this? And now I'm kind of captivated. I'm finding it going, wow.
Because Argentina is popular, famous for certain things. One of them is soccer.
Oh, of course, yeah.
One of them is soccer. Yeah. And anything else that you would think that Argentina is famous for? From an American's point of view?
Well, the odd thing is, from an American point of view, not so much, because most people in the United States aren't that aware of what's going on here. Yeah. If people are somewhat sophisticated, Argentina is very famous for more bookstores per capita than any city in the world, the art scene, the creativity, insane number of theaters. There's a lot of that sort of stuff.
It's an amazing nightlife, a lot of culture. There's never a dull moment. There's always something to do in Buenos Aires.
Absolutely.
I heard other cities are like that too. Rosario, they say, is a really nice city. Mendoza, Córdoba.
I'm curious. Yeah, I had a roommate in New York City from Tucumán, Gustavo Valladares, and I learned a lot about Argentina from Gustavo. Through him, I met some friends here who, Sandra Zabludovic, wonderful woman who's helped me find my way around here. So I still want to explore more.
All right. You said you met Clinton once.
Yes,
you
I
sent
met
me a picture of that.
I met Bill. I sent you a picture, sort of eccentric. In my career, I've met a lot of people, none of whom probably remember me. But when I left the New York Times in 1996, I started a consulting practice and was hired to help turn around financially troubled media companies. One was Out Magazine, a gay lifestyle magazine. And as part of that, I had to go to Bill Clinton's annual Christmas party. Bizarre. I was one of hundreds of people standing in line. They shoved me forward. Somebody whispered my name in his ear. He said hello, and my picture was taken, and then they shoved me out of the way. So I can't say I know Bill Clinton.
Oh.
But
I met Menem once.
You met? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to touch wood or touch your left nut. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah. No, I met others. Robert Sackville, the seventh Baron Sackville, nice guy who owns a house of 365 rooms in Europe, in England. He's invited me to visit. I realized with 365 rooms, I could probably spend a year there, moving from place to place.
Do you find it cheap to live here, or is it expensive? Has prices changed? How do you see
prices
it?
have gone up? Yeah, but compared to New York, it is much less expensive. Much less expensive. So I find that makes sense.
A friend of mine told me that there are two standards: standard of living and quality of living. I mean, here you have. I think the quality of living is higher than the standard of living. I think the quality is. That's a friend of mine mentioned that, and it got me thinking.
Quality of living is, I think, from my perspective, is very high. Everything from healthcare to, food to just everything. Transportation is amazing. I never thought I would love the subway line, but the subte I just think is amazing. The whole
system. Some of my best writing on the public transportation.
Really?
Yeah. That book, Buenos Aires Chronicles, I wrote basically on trains, buses.
I'm always
subways.
Amazed that I get on a subte and find young people sitting there reading paper books, which stuns me. We're mostly on our cell phones, but I see that.
Yeah. Cool. All right, good. Any particular, you had told me, I wanted to ask you, have you ever spoken to God?
Well, I did mention, I think, did I mention my autobiography, my memoir?
You've written a couple books.
Yes, I've written a couple books. You want to mention them real quick? Well, my most eccentric book is OMG! An Atheist Miraculous Journey to Heaven and Home.
OMG, like ojete. Almost.
Yeah. Well, oh my God. It was inspired by a book written a number of years ago, decades ago, by an evangelical minister. His son, Colton, died briefly, was in the hospital, came out fine. And he told his dad later that he was dead for 15 seconds, but was in heaven for a year and sat on Jesus' lap. So in June 2018, I had a heart attack. I actually had one in Los Angeles, and I was raced to the hospital. Came out fine after a few days. So in my book, I have the heart attack, and I wake up in what looks like a cheap motel room. I can't find my mobile phone. I panic, and a young man comes in, knocks on the door, and welcomes me to heaven. So the investigative journalist I am, I decide to take a look at it. Heaven's kind of boring, so I came back.
If you had to go to a party, if God and the devil were having a party, whose party would you go to?
The devil. I got to meet Satan when I was in heaven, and Satan's. I'm a journalist. I do research, and I did a lot of research on the evolution of Christianity and religion. Satan was not the bad guy people think he is. He was actually God's right-hand man for a while. And as Satan tells me, he's looking for help repairing his reputation. He says, all these Christians got involved and they're screwing each other's wives and stealing money, and they just keep saying, the devil made me do it. Not my fault. So, yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Good. That was fascinating, man. It was really awesome. Okay, we're gonna go with the ping pong.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna start off with your favorite food.
Empanadas. I love empanadas. I mean, I have to admit, media lunas I love, but empanadas are my favorite. Yeah.
You know, there are several kinds of empanadas.
Oh yeah.
You got
I
salta.
typically
Have you
eat the regular just pollo empanada. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying from different regions.
Oh yeah, I do know
From like
Salta,
Jujuy, Salta,
places like that. Yeah.
You know the difference between an empanada in Salta and empanada in Buenos
I
Aires?
don't really know much about that. I know that it's different.
With potato.
Yeah, it's got potatoes.
Without potato.
Without
Okay.
potatoes.
Huh.
In Córdoba, I think they got raisins. Or
I like
misiones.
that. Okay.
Misiones. I like the raisins.
Have you been invited to a barbecue, to an asado?
I had an asado on the roof. I happen to have an interesting apartment. It's actually a building. A friend of mine who's an Argentine owns it. 3 bedrooms, and I have the entire roof, and there's an asado grill. So we had a party organized by a young woman from Istanbul who puts on a co-working group here, and she asked if we could do it. So we had 20 people there, and Matias cooked
And what's
wonderful
up?
asado.
What's up with the chinchulín? You guys have the chinchulín. You did the chinchulín, the sweet bread,
No, I
the
don't know that.
kidney, the mocheja.
Oh yeah. I'm not a fan of
The
that.
riñón.
Yeah, not a fan of that.
That's the whole parrilla. I mean,
No,
I
know.
think parrilla goes beyond just the asado, which is the cut of meat.
Yeah, we just had asada this time, and I have a few issues with food here. I like some food a lot. I don't like the pizza. I'm an Italian pizza lover, thin crust pizza. It's an issue for me, and I wish I could find more.
They got New York style pizza.
That's what I hear.
In what's this place called? Galerías Pacífico.
Okay.
They got the
Galleria Pacifico.
Yeah, New York style
Yeah,
pizza.
I've been there.
The big sign that says
Okay.
"Comete la doblada."
Oh, okay. I have
Yeah.
to check that. All right.
It's crazy, man.
and bagels. I found a couple
Bagels.
places that sell real bagels.
Oh, bagels. Bagels and South Philly cream cheese was the best. That was
Bagels
my
I
breakfast.
love, and and I love salmon. It's a little hard
Favorite
to find.
places so far in BA?
Yeah, where do you hang out? If you
Oh,
have
so many. I love Rivadavia. I mean, it's on Sunday. It's just insane.
Parque Rivadavia.
Place. Parque Rivadavia, yeah. Parque Rivadavia.
With the big statue.
With a big statue. There are over 100 little stalls selling books, which is amazing. I love, I don't know, so many neighborhoods. It's hard to say. I love Echo Park. I think that's a really cool place. Chacarita, the cemetery. There's a lot of stuff in that park right there that's kind of cool. So I tend to like to go to parks and hang out. Oh, and Plaza Armenia, which is really, really fun.
Do you see that there's more expats now? There's more foreigners now than a couple of years ago?
That's what I'm told. And
I know there's a lot of Russians and
well,
Ukrainians.
and I've met a lot of Russians. It's amazing how many Russians I've met. English-speaking Russians.
I heard the Russian women are looking for Argentine men so they can get citizenship.
I'm not surprised.
Now you got your DNI, right?
I got my DNI.
There you go. You meet yourself
Can you
a
show your
Russian
DNA?
chick?
I got it renewed for the second
all right.
time.
Yeah.
How was that? How long did that take to get the
It
DNI?
took a while for the first one. It was very fast for the second one. It
Check
came
that
through
out.
very quickly.
All right.
The only thing I don't like is a picture, but whatever. That's
You can't.
me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got it renewed, and actually the whole process. I made a mistake. I lost the second one, and I had to go back and get another one from them. They were so nice. When I went into the woman who was handling this, she found out I was from New York, and she yelled out, "He's from New York!" and waved people over to say hello to me.
Cool.
I mean,
That's one of the things. That's one of the magic things about being an expat in Buenos Aires. I would think. You stand out. It opens some doors, and it just it's magical. I experienced it when I got here in the '90s.
Yeah.
I talked about this before. I felt like I was from the future in the '90s.
well, and I also
I had a
find
beeper.
when I'm dealing with people who work for the government and something like that, people are nice. In New York, not. People are rude.
Yeah, Philly was like that too. Philly
Yeah.
was like, if you looked at somebody, you couldn't stare at people. You couldn't look at. Typical. If I pull up, and you're in the car, you're at the light, and you look at me, and I look at you, and someone said, "What are you looking at?"
Yeah, yeah.
Immediately, what are you looking at? What's your fucking problem?
What,
I fuck your mother? It's bad in
That's
Philly.
the deal.
It's all about major attitude in Philly.
As a journalist, I'm used to being somewhat confrontational. I'm the guy who wants to find out what the real truth is, so I ask the tough questions, and I've certainly dealt with a lot of people like that. I've caused a number of politicians.
Have you ever been in Philly?
Many times. When I launched a newspaper, free daily newspaper called Metro for a Swedish company in New York, and Metro was published in Philadelphia and Boston. And
what year are we talking?
Going back. That was 2005, I think it was. Yeah. I launched Metro.
Where were you in the 80s?
In the 80s, I moved to New York City in 1989. I moved to the East Village, and I lived on Avenue A. It was an anarchic neighborhood, which I loved. A stood for all right, Avenue B stood for be careful, C stood for caution, and Avenue D stood for death. And I eventually got to meet a cool guy, Danny Rakowitz, who in 1989, when I moved there, was known as the Butcher of Tompkins Square Park.
Jeez.
He is still in jail since 1989 for cutting up his roommate and making soup out of her and feeding her to homeless people. I got to interview him several times.
Yeah.
Quite a story.
Yeah, it's quite a story.
Danny's convinced he's going to get out. He never will. When I asked Danny what he would do if he got out of this prison, he said real estate. He wants to be a real estate agent.
Have you heard
of New York?
About some stories here in Argentina that you would like to investigate?
I have, and I'm still trying to dig into it. There's a strange one I don't know enough about, but a guy who is involved with some religious cult and owns a couple of businesses in Florida and has been working to help those people who've been locked up because of the dirty war. And I'm trying to remember his name, but I was trying to help the Buenos Aires Herald dig up some information on that. So, yeah, I'm always open to that kind of thing. I love doing the research,
there's a lot of stuff to investigate in Argentina.
Yeah, I've been, I have access to a lot of databases. I've written one piece for the Buenos Aires Herald. I'm working on some others, but based on things like the number of people who lives in Argentina and where do they come from and where are Argentines going. So there's a lot of data about that.
All right. Okay, next. How do you feel about the Hello Kiss? I ever get that? Hola.
Yeah, I like it. It's still a little awkward for me. I still have to go, and remember to do it. It's a little awkward. I've learned how to do it. At least it's better than in France where you've got to do it on both cheeks.
Yeah,
so it's somewhat simpler here. So I get along with it. Thank God there's not any COVID. That would have probably.
What about the slang?
No, I just want. Are you more? You feel more comfortable with the handshake?
Yeah,
I prefer a handshake, maybe a hug.
I prefer a handshake or maybe a hug
Personally.
than a kiss. Yeah, typically. For me. Yeah.
I think most expats agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the slang?
I'm trying to learn more of the slang. I have a friend who's an artist here, and Mauro is a brilliant artist. He's proudly autistic, and he's trying to help me learn dirty slang.
Any slang words that come to mind?
Well, the one, the most common that everybody knows is "che boludo." I happen to have an app on my cell phone called Porteño Spanish, and it lists all the slang, the dirty words that you need to be careful about.
Boludo is very diverse. It's almost like the F word, fuck. It's very diverse. You can use it as a verb, an adjective.
Well, that's the challenge with so much language here.
Boludez.
So much Porteño language is there words like cagar.
Cagar.
Yeah.
Take a dump.
Yeah, it all depends on the context and kind of how you're using it.
The context.
La cagué, I blew it.
I got cool Castellano where I explain stuff like the seashell of your mother.
Poetically Porteño.
And, yeah.
The Real Academy of Spain just added pelotudo.
Yeah.
Pelotudo.
Which is a little bit higher than boludo.
Yeah.
The Academy is really.
Do you know the difference?
It sounds aggressive, like the P, the T, the D, the L.
Wow.
Do you know the difference between estar al pedo and estar en pedo?
No.
No. Estar al pedo and estar en pedo.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah, it's different.
No.
Yeah, there's one word. One is estar al pedo is like to not be doing anything. For example,
Okay.
what are you doing? Are you busy? No, estoy al pedo.
Following around.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
Estar en pedo is to be drunk.
Ah,
Oh
okay.
shit, estoy en pedo.
Okay, okay.
And ni en pedo is no way.
Yeah, I have to be careful.
You got to
I
learn about the pedo.
actually have a large whiteboard on the wall in my bedroom where I'm writing words like this so that when I go to sleep at night, I can stare at them and try to remember them.
Yeah.
Careful with the Fernet. What about that Fernet?
How's the Fernet? You like Fernet?
I love Fernet.
You can taste it. Yeah.
Fernet.
Cheers.
Cheers to Fernet.
Cheers.
Thanks, Hank.
Fernet.
One of my favorites, yeah.
Let's cheer it.
All right, we're back. Okay, Mandanga. Anything else you'd like to
Hank,
Yeah.
what it's like to be a gringo in Buenos Aires?
I find one thing that surprises me is I find, at least in my experience, I'm very accepted. And I'm surprised at that a little bit because I think there's a reason why Porteños might not like gringos. I can understand that. But at least the people-
that happens everywhere. It's a love-hate relationship.
yeah.
Everybody loves to hate Americans.
But the people I deal with are by and large pretty nice to me, and we get along pretty well. I've made some Argentine friends here, real friends. So I haven't found any difficulty with that. I'm cautious, or I'm aware of one thing. I come from a wealthier nation, and I want to find a way to make a difference for people who live here. I don't want to find myself being someone who exploits Argentina.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Have you been to other South American countries?
No,
cities?
I've been to, in Central America a lot of times, in Mexico and Panama and places like that, but not South America. One of my best friends is a singer and musician in Sao Paulo, and Johan keeps inviting me. One day I'll go up there, but no.
Have you seen any local music?
No, not really, and I really want to. That's something I'm interested in. I have a roommate. I had my large 3-bedroom apartment. One of the other rooms was rented out to a cool guy. Matias Sebastian is a DJ, and so he's helping me get a sense of local music. He's a young guy in his 20s. Has the most beautiful girlfriends, more than one, that I've ever seen.
All right. Okay, what do you think of Reco Records? The studio.
I love it. It is so cool. So, it's like such a creative space. I like the idea that it's such a creative space. And just the design of it. It's not just that it's a useful space, but the design, really grabs me. So
Yeah.
I think it's very cool.
All right. Okay. All right. We're about to wrapping it up here.
Okay.
In this episode and dose of Gringos in Buenos Aires podcast. It was a pleasure to have you all there. We'll catch you next time.
Pleasure to be here. Ciao.
Ciao for now.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
All right.